Well, hello there, Maverick traders. This is Rob Reinhold. It is good to be back in town, and look at that. It is June 1st. So we're getting into some summer trading, which typically is a little bit lower volatility. Look, that doesn't mean that that's guaranteed. We just have to be a little bit aware that we do see lower volatilities during the summer. Right here, right now, this market is an okay market. It's not high volatility. It's not low volatility. It's just a normal market. Let's look at some of the news today. First off, we got a strong equity market. We got Euro CPIs came in below expectations. So that was the first bit of good news. And then we got some more news out of the US. We had ISM manufacturing was below expectations, but we got ADP employment that were higher than expectations. Now, all of this is coming on the heels of the debt ceiling being passed in the House. It still needs to be passed in the Senate, but that's pretty much a done deal. I think at this point, the market has voted that the debt ceiling debacle is behind us and we can move on going forward. As you can see, today was a strong day across the board. S&P up 1%. The VT World Index actually performed better for the first time in a while. Crypto had a little bit of an up move thanks to Litecoin. Gold strong. Oil jumping back after getting obliterated over the last couple of days. So let's take a look at where we are in the charts on equities. As you can see here, we had this long high base, a 2-month high base in the S&P, and we broke out. If you take a look at the NASDAQ, it broke out even stronger. So right here, right now, equities are strong. We broke out and we held. We broke out here, we fell back down, but we popped back up. Look at this pullback. We held nicely. So look, this isn't a wild bull market, but this is a moderately bullish market. I want to take a look at the Treasury market because it broke out of its range. About 2 weeks ago, came all the way up to this downward trend line, hit it, and look at where we are. We're right back down to this range here. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about Treasuries. Now, again, Treasuries move for one of two reasons. People think interest rates are going higher or lower, or people are worried and they want to put their money in a safe investment. So right now, that definitely isn't the case. It is not a risk-off market. So as you can see here, there's no real reason for people to be flooding into treasuries. As you can see, they're betting that rates aren't really going to go all that much higher, which is a little bit odd because the Fed is likely to raise interest rates in 2 weeks. I think it's coming to a nice level of support here. I would be more of a buyer on the treasury yields than anything. But look, we don't really trade treasuries, but it's just telling us that if these go up, the dollar is probably going to get a little bit of a bid. Taking a look at cryptos here. Look, cryptos have had a decent move here lately, but look, it's all in the context of this high to low here. So we're up at the high until we break out and can pierce above it. I can't be bullish in cryptos. Right now, I'm definitely neutral. As far as the performance goes, let's take a look at that. As I said, everything pretty much flat today, but Litecoin is still playing catch up. Litecoin has underperformed everything else over this whole year. It's just playing a little bit of a catch up. If you want to play cryptos, you probably want to be in Litecoin. I know it's a weird thing to say, but that's where the market is at the moment. We take a look over here at the Forex. I want everyone to take a look at this because I think you can just take a look at the middle of this chart and just say, look, right now, the Euro currencies are not in play at all. Remember, over the last 2 months, these were fantastic trades, and we rang the register a lot on long Euro currencies. It's not where it is right now. So you really need to avoid these currencies because they're just not doing anything. All the action right now is in the currencies of safety, the dollar, the yen, maybe the Swiss franc, but just go with dollar yen against the growth currencies. This is where you want to be trading in Forex. So let's take a look at kind of our overall outlook here. We've got a +2 outlook in equities. So we like the risk on trade here. The risk on trade was going to be long Aussie, be long Kiwi, be long CAD. We'll take a look at all these. You're going to see that only one of those three currencies looks decent on a daily chart. But if this market holds up, I think we're going to see those things continue to perform. This week, again, this is the news we had this week. And we see tomorrow we've got the U.S. payrolls report. So we are going to be meeting live as a firm to trade that as usual. Everyone be there at 8:15 a.m. Eastern time if you can make it. If not, we will have a recording for you. where we're going to be trading that one live. Registration is on the website. So let's take a look at each of these currencies one by one and jump in and give them scores. So here we are on a 4-hour chart with our velocity score indicators. We've got our EMA, we've got our parabolic SAR, and we've got our RSI. This is Litecoin. This is the only one that's showing any momentum at all. And you can see we had a nice little breakout here. Run up to this point, we broke out. Okay, we're probably having a little pullback. I would love to be buyer around this $93. Let this thing come down a little bit. Let this RSI come down a little bit. I think that's going to be the place you want to be looking at a long. Look, I'm not super bullish here. If I'm looking at this thing thinking, okay, what's my best case scenario here? Maybe 96, 97. Is that enough money for me to put some money at risk? Okay, it's about 3.8%. Maybe that's enough. But look, let's see if we can find anything better in the foreign currencies. Looking at the dollar. Remember, we just looked at those treasury yields. If those treasury yields bottom out here, it is highly likely that the dollar has a little bit of a bounce here. Now look, we had 2 big down days. We had a doji. We're starting to see a flattening out of the supply and demand curve. An up candle tomorrow could be a decent little short-term trade. Look, overall, I think the dollar is still stuck going nowhere, but off of a little bounce, maybe. Now remember, right now the market is risk on. I don't want to be long dollar if the market keeps going up. So I want to pair this along with the market going lower. I would love to see the markets go lower. I would love to see the treasury yields start to bounce. That to me would say, okay, long dollar, it looks okay here. If we come over here to the yen, you can see the yen is really just chopping around here over the last 2 weeks. It's been a really messy trade over the last 2 weeks. We are now at near the bottom of the range here. I've got to say the only trade I'm interested in yen is a breakdown of this level. Then I can say, hey, you know what? We probably make it down to this next level. So if the market stays strong, remember, risk on means that the yen should actually move lower. If tomorrow is a long day where the markets are going up, I actually want to take a look at short yen. So very easy here, quickly. If the markets go down, I want to be long dollar. If the market go up, I want to be short yen. But what do I want to be long or short against it? I don't want to take a look at any of the European currencies. They're just really going nowhere. If you click through them here, they're really just not really doing much. The Swiss franc is weakening along with the safe currencies. But what do I want to pair it up against? And here we are, the CAD. The CAD is jumping to the top of the list. Look at this thing. It is going. We know that it could end at any moment, but at this point, the CAD has the momentum to the upside. Let's check it against the Aussie and the Kiwi to make sure that we are in the right place. Okay, so here's the Aussie. Take a look at the Aussie's overall chart. It's not great. We've had more momentum to the upside lately, but I don't like that nearly as much as the CAD. Taking a look at the Kiwi, this looks absolutely abysmal. So I got to say, the only trade I'm looking at is long CAD, and that would be against the yen. So let's take a look at the scores of all the currencies. So here we are. There's not a lot going on, giving us a lot of great signals here. Look, if you want to play crypto, Litecoin is the one to trade off of a pullback. If you want to trade Forex, I think CAD long is the only thing that makes sense. Other than if we do have a down day tomorrow, I think the dollar long also makes a little bit of sense. What do I like on the short side? Well, if the market goes up tomorrow, CAD yen. CAD yen is my trade 100%. If the market goes down tomorrow, I actually like Kiwi dollar and maybe even dollar Swiss franc as well. So while we're here, let's go ahead and take a look at some of those charts for those setups. If the markets go up tomorrow, CAD yen is the trade. Okay, so here we have this trade here. As you can see, we are kind of breaking out of some areas here, but this last little run has been more of a base than anything else. I don't love to buy things while they're in the base because that turns out to be a lot of dead money. And I don't want to sit and get chopped up on just random movements. A breakout of 103.50, that is the buy point. Maybe even 103.60. That to me is a really good point to take a look at a CAD yen long. Now, this will be if the market reacts well to the jobs report tomorrow. Now, we got a lot of data this week that was showing really strong US hiring. So I actually like the other side of this trade even better. I do like that dollar long, and that CAD looks abysmal. So let's take a look at Kiwi dollar. And this is what I love. We just had a nice bounce. We just had a 70 pip bounce that we could potentially short into. Now, my hope is that overnight we can hang out in these levels and that I can go ahead and get short Kiwi dollar off of the report tomorrow. This is going to be my number one trade here, is short Kiwi dollar. And then if you don't want to do Kiwi, let's take a look at dollar Swiss franc. Okay, dollar Swiss franc. So again, we're looking for a buy point here. Look, this chart doesn't look great. I'm going to go ahead and focus my efforts on Kiwi dollar. To wrap this up, we have a moderately bullish equity market. Tomorrow, we've got that payrolls report. This is going to be the report I'm looking to trade to finish off the week. And I think the trade is pretty simple. You have the growth currencies versus the safe currencies. If the market goes up tomorrow, you want to be in the growth currencies versus the safe currencies. If the market goes down, vice versa. We'll be trading live for that. So if you are not already registered, go onto the website and get registered. And if you can't make it, we will send out a recording as soon as we're done there. Thanks for joining me, everyone. Happy trading. Take care. Goodbye.